Who doesn't love this Christmas tree? You told me you loved me, so I don't understand why promises are snapped in two and words are made to bend. The bigger, the better, some stolen from Japan, collected from around the world. They'll cut you if they can. Lies, 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 yeah. Lies, 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 yeah. Lies, 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 yeah. Lies, 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 yeah. Do I have to catch you out to know what's on your mind? Well, Cleopatra died for Egypt. What a waste of time. The white ones and the red ones, and some you can't disguise. Twisted truth and half the news, can't hide it in your eyes. Lies, 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 yeah. Lies, 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 yeah. Hey, Darla, hey, Holly, yeah. Lies, 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 yeah. Oh, you know I know. If you know, you know. Today's show is about the scammers. Hi, Barbara. You say you'll try harder, but I think it's just too late. Well, the car is revving in the drive, and I'm not the sort to wait. The bigger, the better. Some Nick from old Saigon, collected from around the world. Love lies on and on. Lies, 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 yeah. Lies, 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 yeah. They're gonna get you. Oh man, we live in a world of scammers, don't we? So it's funny, I decided to do this show. I did my research, I wrote a little speech, and didn't you know it? I got a text from someone I don't know asking me if we were gonna tee off tomorrow. What? What kind of scam is that? It's a big one. It's a big one, and it's happening almost every day. It happens more on my husband's phone than it does on mine, but Darla got hacked on Facebook. Guess what? Facebook is one of the most unsafe places in the universe. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Hi, Lala. Hi. So if you're watching this show and you're a scammer, you're going to be very disappointed because I'm about to tell everybody how to subvert the scammers, because honestly, they're ruining our lives. And some of the worst scammers are actually in the house of whiteness, if you know what I mean. Our entire country has been scammed. Everybody scammed, scammed, scammed again. But on a daily basis, we are always at risk of being victims of the scammers. I'm going to play another song for you while I wait for the audience to build, because I have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of songs about lies. Yes, the tree is spinning. You're welcome, Think Again. I'm glad that you're here. Hi, Kathy. I think it's not just been allowed by our government, Holly, but perpetrated. If I could turn the page. I don't know if I can sing this. Just a day or two. I gotta find my thing, because I'm not a real singer. I'm a fake singer. No, I love to sing, that's all. I'm just not that good at it. But I usually know all the words, and if I don't know all the words, we always have the karaoke help. Hey, if you have to ask what is a scammer, you might be one. I don't know, Adrian. Maybe English is not your first language, but a scammer, and actually, that's a really great question. Hi, Lisa. Merry Christmas, Adrian. A scammer is somebody who seeks to to unpair you from your money. A scammer is somebody who isn't just looking to steal from you, but is tricking you at the same time. So they take away your trust, and they don't take away just your money, but they befriend you in some way, or they at the very least they trick you, such as I'm learning about all these scams lately, and I don't know why I keep getting all these videos about scams on my YouTube account. I guess it's the algorithm or something, but I think that it's interesting because it makes me aware that they're out there and they're literally trying everything they can do. I mean, every aspect of our lives is being infiltrated by these thieves. That's what they are, thieves. So they come into our lives in ways that we don't expect. For instance, your car breaks down on the highway and you need to call a tow truck. Those could be scammers. When you look up the number and somebody answers and they don't sound American to you, hang up, call somebody else. If you don't know where you are, you have to find somebody who's real. Exactly, Cheryl. Someone who deliberately rips you off. But it's not just that they deliberately rip you off, but they do it in such a dishonest and quite frankly abusive way. They try to gain your trust while they are ripping you off. And what has resulted is that we now believe nobody and nothing. Every time my phone rings, I'm reluctant to pick it up. If I don't know exactly who is on the other end, I'm not going to be there for you. I'm not going to answer my phone because you probably are a scammer. Yeah, I also press junk and report everything. You have to report everything. It's really, really important. Now, it's a fact. Scammers have always existed, always. But these days, it feels like they're everywhere. They are on your Facebook page. They're in the comments below. This guy, a freaking train, he like needs to be tossed into the intercoastal. Boom, he's out of here. Like, really? Why? And I don't know if he's a scammer, but maybe he's angry because I'm, quite frankly, calling him out. I don't put up with any nastiness on my page, by the way. If you come on the Beach Report and you say nasty things to me or any of my people who are watching, you will be tossed out of here and eaten by the sharks that live in the intercoastal. This is something else. I don't know, Galaxy Bird, are you a scammer? I don't go into the supermarket and do anything like that. I don't eat food while I'm in the supermarket. Maybe I did that when I was a teenager once or twice. I don't know. That's just really bad manners. So, yes, and a lot of people do find some kind of twisted, and I'm not going to call it happiness or joy, because how can you feel good about trying to make others feel bad? Why don't you ask a question that would be interesting or helpful, Galaxy? You know, you come on this page and you're part of my show. My show is interactive, and I do that on purpose because I want everybody to feel like they're here with me. Do you feel like you're here with me? Oh, Kathy, thank you for the reminder. I also want to know what's going on in your neck of the woods and what kind of weather you're having. So let's do our weather report for today. So I'm going to show you what's outside my window, which is very beautiful, but kind of not the weather that we like the most. It's not the calmest day here in Fort Lauderdale. You can see that palm tree is having a hard time, and the palm tree next of it, oh, lost its head. That is actually a palm tree disease affecting many of the palm trees here in Fort Lauderdale. If you look across the way, you'll see that several of these palm trees have done lost their heads. Quite a few of them. And when it happened to one of ours, one of the ones right in front of me, it was devastating. Because this palm tree is never going to be the same. That's sad. Donna's got 72 light rain, and she's about an hour north, so I'm pretty sure it's warmer here. I have to look at what the temperature is, because I do have a weather app. Can't find it though. It's not the best day to see boats. If I had a boat, I don't think I would take it out today. But it's not raining anymore. We had some storms early this morning. Holly's got Oklahoma, clear blue skies and sunny. I've never been to Oklahoma. Lisa's got 42, windy and raining, and Nevada near Reno, never been there. Okay, I've got Fort Lauderdale at 75, cloudy. Rain conditions expected in the next 15 minutes. We should get a high of 80 degrees. It's been pretty balmy here and actually quite lovely in the evening. Be Kind has a heat wave at 27 degrees in North Dakota. Oh my. Wow, 10 miles from the Canadian border, below zero. And Darla up in mid-Pennsylvania, 60 degrees, cloudy. I lived in Pennsylvania for a lot of my life. I was raised in Pittsburgh. And one of the reasons why I had to leave was the weather. The weather in Pittsburgh is just so awful that it made you feel like very, very depressed every day. But if you want to laugh, you just look at this Christmas tree and it will make you laugh. Oh, Barbara has lots to say about today's subject. I typed one paragraph and it got erased. I was telling you about how many scams are organized and run from our prisons. Oh my gosh. Oh, Barbara helped bust a big ring. Wow. I'm so glad you're here today. We need to talk. Oh my gosh, please tell us your story. Wait, we've got Kathy has 79 degrees. She's in Eureka, Florida. She got our storms from earlier. And Kimberly's got 3 hours from the Canadian border, so a cold vortex on its way. It's so weird for me, a former Pittsburgh girl, and I just don't see winter anymore. I mean, 80 degrees and cloudy, and I'm like, oh. It's paradise here in Fort Lauderdale, absolutely. So I am so excited to hear what well, you know, Barbara, I'm going to call you Bam because not everyone knows your real name. So we're just, we're going to keep all the names or whatever you present as in the chat, because sometimes it's difficult for me to be using other names and people's names. So you know what I mean. Anyway, Bam, I would love to hear about the prison rings. I had no idea. The things that I've been researching lately is that a lot of the scammers come from Nigeria. Is a huge scammer country. And it's really sad because, it makes you think that, I know not everyone in Nigeria is a scammer, but most of the scammers are Nigerian. So it makes you feel like you don't want to deal with people from Nigeria. Wow, Be Kind, the former California girl, moved to the tundra in North Dakota. Yes, come to Florida, you will love it. I love Florida, by the way, I really do. It is such a beautiful environment. And the thing about the hurricanes, that people say, I can never live there because of the hurricanes. But here's the thing. The houses since I think 1986 have been built especially strong, so they don't really get that affected by hurricanes. And people know what to do when a hurricane comes, and we're used to it. It's a big difference in, say, the people who were, in North Carolina and never had a storm like that. They're not used to it. Their homes aren't built for it, and then it's a huge problem. So if you want to avoid big storm situations, you live in South Florida, where all the storms kind of seem to originate. Like, they're either coming out of the Caribbean or something. And I find Fort Lauderdale, I've lived here for almost 10 years, and I've never seen a storm like really slam into Fort Lauderdale and cause widespread devastation. Unfortunately, I did see this happen over on the other coast in Fort Myers and Fort Myers Beach. And that was the day that my husband died, the day after that Hurricane Ian went through. And he was in hospice, which actually meant that he saved my life by dying that week, because I was safe from the hurricane being in a hospice that was also a shelter. So, you never know what kind of blessings that you get. Sometimes something seems so horrible and it turns out that it's actually a blessing. So you just don't know. And you can't look at things as good or bad, just their experiences, right? Kimberly misses Pensacola and the beautiful white coral beach. I have to go back to Pensacola and do a beach report there. Yeah, Darla, you should be Twinkle Toes. We call Darla Twinkle Toes because every time I do a dancing show, Darla steps on my imaginary feet. Holly's going to move to Florida. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Come to Florida. You guys will love it here. And Donna, she's been a Floridian all the way back to 1969. Mackmore, what are you talking about Jews for? I hope it's in a nice way, because me be Jewish. So, okay, bam. She's coming out with her information. Okay, so we do know, you're right, scammers prey on elderly people. And she got a text herself yesterday from the Social Security Department. Yeah, on Saturday. Sure. Thank you. Happy holidays to you, too. Oh, okay, good. All right, bam, 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 bam. Remember that, bam, bam? Sue's awake. If I showed her, she would be very angry with me. Yeah, do it. Do it, giggle for us. Okay, so that's my roommate. Has been my roommate for the past, like, going on 9 years. Anyway, on my show, The Beach Report on Facebook, when we used to live together on the intercoastal downways in a big house, and Sue never wants to be on camera. However, you can hear her laughing, and she has the most famous laughter on Facebook. So yes, you want to see the tree, Michael? Absolutely. Get a good look at this tree, because there ain't another one like it. Oh, okay. I know, thank you, Kimberly, about Muffin. I'm so blessed this year. Christmas just was perfect. I didn't do a lot of celebrating. I didn't go to very many parties. I only went to one, actually. And all I wanted for Christmas was Muffin to be okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I mean, all right. I gave you a chance, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. I want eggnog. Get it, giggity. Did you have to remind me? My goodness, not fair. Someone had to say the eggnog word. I love eggnog. It's a problem. Yeah, Cheryl, you remember when I lived with Sue. I still live with Sue. Oh, go way up under Darla's comments. Oh, that's what you're saying. Let's see. Okay. Barbara, Bam, can you put it up again, please? I can't find it. It's hard for me to scroll through comments. Anyway, yeah. Have you guys seen the whole tree? Did you get a good look? Yes, Muffin is a Christmas miracle. And not just for me, but for all of us. Here, I'm playing all the Lies songs. Just so we have little music. Sometimes I see dolphins, and sometimes I see manatees. And sometimes the sharks come because they think I'll feed them trolls, so. Hi, Aiden, I'm doing well. How are you? You guys ready for 2025? Yes, I love this tree too. Sue left it up for you guys. Oh, here comes a nice boat. So yeah, we're talking about scammers today. And Bam in the comments has a lot to say about scammers. Hello, Roxa. Hello to those of you who are new to the Beach Report. You've got a really great mix of people who have been watching me for the past decade and people who have never seen the Beach Report before because we're kind of new for YouTube. We've been on Facebook since 2015. This is a Christmas tree. Oh, you mean this tree? That's it. It's not a coconut tree, it's a palm tree. There's no coconuts on it. Some of the trees have coconuts and some of them don't. Did you know that a lot of people actually get hurt, if not killed, by coconuts falling on their heads? Which is worse than raindrops that fall on your head. All right, check this out. We've got a sweet little yacht coming down the intercoastal. Very nice. Now this one probably has a couple of bedrooms in it. At least one head, if not two. That's boat talk for bathrooms. Yeah, that is a sweet little yacht. Let's see, what's it called? Après ski, indeed. When you live on the intercoastal in Fort Lauderdale, you see some of the most amazing yachts ever in the world. You also see jet skis and even little tugboats and people in little fishing boats and stuff. But then when the super yachts go by, that is when the games begin. Hey, Marita. Okay, so Bam says some prisoners have phones snuck in, then run rackets from jail. Some pretend to need money for toys around the holidays. They pretend to be Marines or cops needing donations. Oh, Barbara, we need to get together. You know, I think I need to interview you. Can you come on live one of these days so that we can expose this scam, which you did expose, but let's now expose it to the world? Because as many scams as I've been researching lately, I've not seen one that has anything to do with actually people in prison. That is insane. Okay, another yacht on the way. Oh, look at this. We've got a sailboat and a yacht. Yeah, that would be a great interview. I agree. And you know, the worst thing about the scammers is that they have just eroded the trust that we have in everything, our neighbors, our institutions, and sometimes even ourselves. They prey on our hopes, our fears, and our vulnerabilities. The sky here does look beautiful, Roxa. It does, with all those clouds. Looks very fluffy in the sky, doesn't it? Oceana is the name of that yacht. Now that yacht is like triple size of the yacht we saw before. And there are no doubt 2 levels of accommodations in that yacht. And that sailboat's pretty sweet too. But that's got a nice interior as well. I don't usually get to go on the yachts. However, once a year, Fort Lauderdale has a very famous boat show. And then you can go on the yachts and you can see them. You can go right on them. It's really cool. Kathy says, do you ever see a homemade by rebuild going on the water? The kind that are homemade that do the intercoastal doing the Florida mini loop. Takes about a month, doing 7 to 10 miles an hour. No, I don't think I've ever seen that. Marita, do you come from South Florida, like Hialeah or something? People in my community are notorious for scamming people. They wait until they can't request help from the Angel Tree and food banks. They put out pleas for assistance. And who gets hurt by that? The people who need it the most. You know, the scammers don't just hurt people by stealing their money, but when they steal their trust, then people who really need help are not going to get it. And everybody is under suspicion of being a scammer, using their children as heartstring pullers. Oh, Kentucky. Wow. I didn't know that about Kentucky. So you guys are a wealth of information. That's actually what I love the most about doing the beach report, is that I have your input. It's not just me doing this show, it's me and all of you. And that's why I also do not put up with any, shenanigans and nastiness on my show, because I'm here to learn, I'm here to teach. And I like to put out information. I'm an old school journalist, and now I have to do a show. I love it. It's fun. I never thought that I wanted to be on camera. I've always been a writer. So Bam cannot go live. She worked for a big telephone company and even went to court at times. And by the way, about non-public numbers, no employee gave out phone numbers ever. We were recorded. Good to know. All right, well, Bam, we're going to have to find a way to get together and get your story out, because people need to know these things. We are seriously at risk. So I wrote a little thing that I wanted to keep my thoughts kind of in the same lane, because sometimes I get off topic. But the scammer situation is so bad. It's so evil on so many levels that it seriously ruins our lives day to day. And I want to find ways to get around it. You know, people who are affected by scams, they feel violated and they feel ashamed, and they don't want anyone to know about it, because it's, you feel like, oh, I'm so stupid, I fell for that. And that's what the scammers want. They don't want you to talk about it. They want you to be ashamed, because they get away with it if nobody knows about it. Kimberly says, a guy sits in a lawn chair asking for money, and a post came up in our local community post that he was bragging about all the money he makes. And that may well be. I remember when I lived in Pittsburgh, there's this area called the Strip District where people go to do business and buy like wholesale goods, food and stuff like that. Anyway, I remember there was always this guy that would beg for money, and then everybody would see him drive away in a Cadillac at the end of each day. Like, that was his job, was to sit on the street and look poor and pathetic and beg for quarters from people passing by, but he was actually quite wealthy. We've got some more boats coming down, including the very famous Fort Lauderdale water taxi. Okay, that's an interesting one. What's happening here? It's like this boat thing is being towed by this little boat with a child on it too. $600 to $800 a week is how much the panhandlers make. That's crazy. And then people are calling me a scammer for doing my shows on Facebook and asking for stars like Facebook wants me to. I mean, it's horrible. It kills me when people call me a scammer and I'm like, don't scammers usually have money? I don't like money. Dating apps, Wayne, that is like one of the most insidious scams around, where these people break your heart and take your money. It's terrible. And Facebook is one of the worst places for these scammers to operate and try to get you to open up to them. They're on my page constantly saying things like, I'm sorry if I'm bothering you right now, but your profile so amazing and you say the most wonderful things, and I tried to send you a friend request, but oh, it didn't go through. Can you imagine? Would you please add me because I want to be your friend so badly? Like that right there should tell you to report those people. I know it takes time. I know it's annoying. I know Facebook isn't even going to do anything about it, but you need to report those people. Oh, Marita gave him $2. Well, you know, these people that sit on the road now in Fort Lauderdale, you feel like you're going to hit them all the time with your car because they're everywhere. They literally run into the street when you're at a red light and they walk up and down, and it's like, do you look at them? I don't want to look at them. They're scary. They're creepy. I'm not going to open my money for anybody. I mean, open my window to give anybody money. I'm not going to do that. That seems stupid for a woman by herself. And scammers on the phones are not stupid either, Bam says. Have you watched catfish scams? Yes. Now, there's another one. You can't report them. It only puts you on Facebook's radar. Right, Marita? You know, and that's the other thing that I can't stand about Facebook, is that Facebook has plenty of time to call me something that I am not. What is with my hair? Facebook can go after somebody like me, and I assure you, and I don't even want to say I'm not a scammer, because I feel like if you say you're not a scammer, you might be one, but really I'm not a scammer. Anyway, they have all this time to go after me and say my page is at risk because I don't follow community standards. But I report these people all the time, and maybe that's why they go after me. I don't know, but it's like Facebook wants us to be scammed. So I think you're right, Marita. I've reported them every time because I hate it so much. Wait, we need the Christmas tree in the background. But seriously, I think you're right. I think it has put me on some kind of a list or something, because I can't even do Facebook anymore. It's just a waste of my time. Whenever I do Facebook, I might have like 2 people watching, and yeah, I'll get a lot of replay views because people are looking for my content because I have good content. So, all right, Maria, I'll stop reporting them and just block them. Thank you. Yeah, Holly, thank you. Monetize is very different from scamming. It really is. And, you know, by the way, I am now monetized on YouTube, and I would really wish that you guys would join my membership. It's, you know, like I have 3 tiers, and the cheapest tier is under $5, or it might be $5. I don't remember. Anyway, it's not that I'm going to get wealthy out of it, but it gets rid of the scammers. You know, a scammer is not going to subscribe or join a membership on my page, you know, and I want to give content that I can give without actually putting myself at risk, because I'm such a real person that I put myself out there and I am at risk. And I worry too about, you know, are the scammers selling my picture and like pimping me out? Because they might be. I don't know, but I'm getting kind of paranoid about this stuff. So, Yeah, Kimberly. It's not that like I mean I'm thinking $5. Like I'm not a rich person, but really $5 a month. I could scrounge that up with change that I find on the street. You know, it's not that much money, but it does protect me, and then it protects you too. So, just saying. Um, hit the copy button. If you don't want or can't share, hit the copy button. It counts as a share. I didn't know that. Thank you. But I do want this to be a show with really great content. And I know, yes, it's less than and you would give a tip to your waitress, right? Did your waitress go on live and sing and dance for you? I'm dancing. Look, I'm dancing. I mean, does your waitress put in this much thought before she brings you a cup of coffee or your meal? I don't know. I mean, I know being a waitress is really hard work, but doing a podcast is pretty hard work too. Plus, don't forget, I'm putting myself out there. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, Jill, I could never do that. I could never be in front of a camera. I could never, go all the places you go and talk to everybody and do what you do." That's like I could never do that. It's not easy. It's not easy. I never wanted to do it either. But here I am, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and I'm good at it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm a professional anyway. You know, I did go to college for this. I actually did work for Nickelodeon. I got my paycheck from MTV Networks and Univision. Not Univision. Sorry, what's it called? I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But I have receipts. I have all the receipts. Ooh, here comes a really nice yacht. Let's check it out. Who else shows you cool yachts on the Intercoastal? Thank you, Julie. Thank you for respecting the hard work that I do. And I am a card-carrying journalist. I'm not a citizen journalist. I'm not pretending to be anything. And I never come on my show and lie. And I never try to sell you anything that I myself have not created. But yes, I did write 2 books. And I would love it if you would buy my books. Again, they are all true stories. I don't do fiction. Although my second book, Do You Think About Me on My Birthday, has the names changed to protect the innocent and everybody else. Yes, I'm a mother-in-law. It's true. He hasn't really, oh, look, they're turning around. He hasn't actually called me mom. He calls me Jill. I want him to call me mom. Oh, I don't know. I love him. He's awesome. Thank you so much for loving my book, Holly. Thank you. Thank you. Darla knows I'm real. She's met me in real person. She actually got me a speaking gig at a library in her town. And you can do that too if you want to meet me in real life. I will be coming up north, especially to Pennsylvania, which is where my family comes from. So I'm going to be doing a big book tour this summer. And I want to be all over Pennsylvania, from Philly to Harrisburg. Wow, these people are partying. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're very loud. And they're having a blast. Third Wind is what this boat is called. It may well be a rental. It looks like this could be, look how much fun they're having. This could be a bachelorette party or something. They do that a lot on the Third Wind. Oh, Kimberly, I can set you up with another book. Just send me an email. Oh, I got to put my stuff in. I'm not very good at selling things either. I should learn from the scammers. Oh gosh, the name Todd. The name Todd is in my book, Holly. Oh my, I forgot about that. That's so funny you brought that up. I didn't even get that. Wow, Mehmet, you know a lot about yachts? I love it. I love the yachts. I love to see them go down the Intercoastal. So much fun. Yeah, those were big time party girls, weren't they? Yeah, that was Girls Gone Wild. That could have been an ad for Come to Fort Lauderdale and have a party. They were having so much fun. I love it, right? All right, let's get back to the scammer situation. You need to know this. Anyone can fall for a scam. Anyone. And I myself have fallen for a scam, more than one scam. I've fallen for several scams, and I even fell for the romance scam, to tell you the truth. And I'm gonna say kind of more than once on that one too. One time I did actually have a relationship with a scammer, and he was my attorney, my divorce attorney. I can't, it's very hard for me to tell this story because, you know, again, you do feel like you were stupid and you were taken advantage of, and I was definitely, and oh, Facebook scammed me more than once, Marita. Facebook actually lets scammers steal my page, my jillbooks.com page, which is still there, has no admin because they removed me. They removed all me and the other fake admin who stole my page. And now nobody can post on it except for my sister, who I made, I gave her the ability to post, but not to be an admin, which was stupid of me because if I had made her an admin, then I would have had extra protection on that page. And I don't, so that's a problem. Oh my God, a girl got fed to the gators. I've never seen any gators here in the intercoastal, but that doesn't mean that they're not. As my husband used to say, when in Florida, if there's water, baby, there's gators. He always said that. Kimberly ordered a tiny house pot and it never came. Scammed. So that yellow ship was actually the famous Fort Lauderdale water taxi. It goes by every half hour. If we talk much longer, we will see another one for sure. Lisa got scammed on Facebook dating. There's a song I won't listen to anymore. It breaks my heart. Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're like not the first one to bring up the dating scam scene. The dating scammers. They are some of the worst because they play with your emotions. They play with your heart. They break your heart. And heartbreak in real life is bad enough, but to find out that the person you're in love with is not even real is like rip your heart out and stomp on it. How, you know, you feel like, wow, you know. But you need to understand that these people, these scammers coming after us, they are professionals. They are good at it. They know what they're doing, and they do it all the time, every day. It's a job. Bam fell for one romance scam herself. It took her 2 weeks to figure it out. He just wanted a live chat to access my info on the phone. I did not do it, and after feeling stupid, I got mad. Yeah, you should get mad. Marita's mom's attorney tried to bop her mom, said he would get her anything she wanted from the divorce if she slept with him, and she didn't. I wish I could say that I was as smart as Marita's mom. I was not. I was not. I was a dumb little girl. I was actually, it wasn't that I was a little girl. I mean, I was a grown woman, and I was in my 30s, and but I was desperate. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. All right, those of you who watch the Beach Report know that I'm going to always break into song. But yes, I was romance scammed by a real person. And I have to say that the only good thing that happened, and I hate that this is a good thing, but he actually was following me. And if you read my second book, you will realize that I have been dogged my entire life by people scamming on me and following me since the day I was born. Yep, true story. But this man actually ended up committing suicide. Had nothing to do with me. It wasn't about me, but he did commit suicide. And when I found out, I was happy. And that's terrible. Because I'm not the person who would be happy about anybody's death, but this guy getting rid of himself, thank you. Thank you so much. Don't do live chats either unless it's a known relative. Good one, Bam. Kathy knew two ladies who rented a pod and the service loaded it for them and stole their jewelry. They were two elderly nuns, both long gone now. They didn't have family to help. Well, and that's the other thing. They go after old people. So, Mehmet, if you lived here, you would watch the view all day. I know, right? I love watching the water. I love watching the boats. And it's true. Sometimes I do just sit and stare out the window. Hey, Julie. Oh, yeah, these are elves on steroids. Yes, every now and then we've got to take a tree break. You have to see all the stuff on this tree. The more you look at it, the more you see, and the more you go, what? Oh boy, oh boy. So, scammers, scammers, scammers. You know, scammers are ruining our society. Scammers are ruining everything. Everything. We have to rebuild trust. So I looked some stuff up and I have some pointers that we can use. You're right, Dr. Phil is an awesome scammer catcher. My favorite though is the Wicked Witch of the West. You know that's the Wicked Witch of the West right there. She fell in the tree. All right, so the first line of defense against the scammers, Darla's neighbor lost $3,000. Education. Shows like this. We have to talk about the scammers. We have to educate each other about the scammers. Most of the women that he confronts about these scammers, they don't believe him. And that's such a big problem. And I actually had a friend who went through that too. When she told me about her scammer, who she showed me a picture of him, and I said, "Oh, look, you're dating a group of Nigerians." She didn't like that, and she wouldn't believe me. And it took more than a year from, well, she never even believed me, and we actually had a big fight over it. Yes, right, Marita. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Hey, Jose. I don't know what messages you're retracting. I hope they were things that you don't want seen by people on the Beach Report, because we like nice messages and happy messages and, you know, don't say anything nasty. Okay? Or, you know, the water beckons. Yeah, careful what you say on the Beach Report. You will get moderated. But if you moderate yourself, that's fine. Nobody cares. Anyway, education is huge. Scammers need to be called out in every single way. Marita just had a local veterinarian who stole money from her mom to give it to one of those scammers. Oh my gosh, Marita, that's another good point, is that the people who are being scammed and are giving money to the scammers and are actively being scammed, these are dangerous people because they will scam you to get money to give to the scammer. True story. It's bad. Fast boat. Yeah, he's got to slow down because that's no wake zone. Anyway, oh my God, that is terrible. And veterinarians, I'm sorry, but those people have to be quite wealthy, because I don't know how many thousands of dollars we just spent on Muffin to get her better. Thousands every day, another huge bill. And I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't hurt. But, you know, to me, it's my dog. I thank God that people have helped me to pay for these bills, because I could not do it by myself. If I had to pay for everything that Muffin just went through on my own, I don't really, I mean, I am in debt already, but thank goodness I have some help with this, because it is astronomical. Really, really hard. You know, you talk about saving your dog, but you know, the one thing you don't talk about is is saving your wallet. It's bad. It's very, very bad. Bam says it's okay to no longer trust, but I don't want to live this way. I don't like to live in a world where scammers rule the world. Holly had an old school friend who was scammed for $15,000, then he was gone when they got all of her money. Yes, exactly. Marita used to spend $600 to $800 a month on your Harley. Is that your motorcycle? Is that how much it cost you? I mean, I don't know. My car costs me at least, including gas, $600 a month. So is my car scamming me? Probably, probably. But it is up to us to know how to spot the scams, and they're evolving every single day, so you have to be up to date. So I'm gonna, oh, your dog, Harley. Okay, sorry, Marita. Okay, your dog is not scamming you, but maybe your vet is. I don't know. I don't know. It was pretty weird how Muffin was so sick and then so much better so fast. Just saying. Just saying. My car is probably scamming me. Happy New Year, Cold. It's hard to keep up to date on the scams because they're literally morphing and changing every single day. Medicine and food. I hear you. Yeah, medicine. Oh, I forgot that. I forgot that monthly expense. Oh, or daily expense, actually. But, you know, if you're smart, you buy the food monthly. So you maybe save some money in bulk. Yeah. Yeah, muffins, food, retail that I have to buy now. These tins of food, 4x10. It's called renal support. She loves it. She's already had 2 tins this morning. Like she's eating like a champ. It's great. But each tin costs $2.50. That's, if she eats 3 tins a day, that's $7.50 a day just on her food. Now let's add in all the meds that go in the food. Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't tell you how much that is a day, but every week I have to, or every month actually, I buy the meds. Yeah, don't give out information or money. It's okay to be nice. Yes, you should always be nice. Always give out kindness. I like that. You know, if we don't reclaim truth and honesty, though, in our communities, in our lives, then what kind of a society are we going to have? I think that getting together like this to talk about the different ways in which we're being scammed is very important. And again, when you need something like just a tow for, you know, your car broke down or whatever, you have to be very careful in the company that you call. Marita's cat's food is $69 a case and $48 a bag of kidney care food. Oh, that's another scam. Pet food, huge scam. And why does your cat need kidney care food? Because the pet food that your cat's been eating, most likely, if it's made by a big company like Purina or whatever, actually kibble should never be eaten by our pets, like ever. Kibble is so bad, and it drains the animal of the liquid, the moisture they need to keep their kidneys working. So dry food for cats, really not good. Oh, Cold gives up as a kind person. I'm sorry, Cold. I don't want you to feel that way. You have to see kindness as a commodity in this world because it's worth more than money. So, you know, being honest is one thing, but being kind it's free, you know, and you don't have to be kind to everybody. Try to be kind to people who are kind to you. I don't know. I know it's hard. Sometimes you feel like you're kind and you just get kicked in the teeth for it. That happens. Kidney crystals. Marita's cat has kidney crystals. $2,000 later. You saved your cat. But why did your cat have kidney crystals? Because the food. You don't think to look at the labels in cat food or dog food, and you've only just started to read the labels on your own food. Our country, the food in this country is poison. That's what my next book is about, 7 years in Switzerland. Believe it or not, I moved to Switzerland because I could tell that the food was poison. But even in Switzerland, they were still selling Hill's Science Diet. They still sold the same kind of dog food, always. And my little poodle did not live past 16. I don't know if it was the food. She had a heart condition. I don't know. You have to cook your food, your dog's food, Holly. You're right. You have to cook it. And you have to figure out what's best nutrition. Isn't it interesting how the doctors and the veterinarians, they like to talk a lot about the vaccinations they're going to give your animal, and the medicines they're going to give your animal, but do they ever really talk about the nutrition? I mean, unless it's like, oh, your dog needs specialty prescription dog food that's going to cost $5 a can. Yeah, then they want to talk about nutrition. But how about when you get that puppy? Why don't they tell you how to make your own dog food? Is it really that hard? Hey, we got some good comments here. Kimberly says, cats shouldn't eat fish. It hurts their kidneys. Now, who knew that? I thought cats love fish. They sell it. Cats also lick the salt off of our skin, and salt is awful on their kidneys. Himalayan sea salt lights attract cats, and they lick it. Very bad. Thank you for telling us that. I'm learning so much from today's show. Bam says, do not be taken advantage of. Do not be naive. Scammers are searching for another sucker. We used to be called wholesome. Yeah, that's true. And Marita says, the UK just got a Chick-fil-A and now they're starting to put on weight. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Good, Lisa. Gotta cook your own dog food. Holly makes her dog food out of chicken and organ meats. Yes, thank you, Kimberly. So there's a lot here. Okay, wait, I have some more notes. What's next? Okay, education. Of course, if anything sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I can't tell you how many people, scammers, used to, well, still would come on my Facebook page or in my messages and try to get me to place their ads on my page, and they give me something like $600 a week or an ad, and I'm like, oh, that sounds too good to be true. I just ignored them. I wouldn't give anybody access to my Facebook page, not after it was already hijacked. My old Facebook page was hijacked, and I never got it back, and you know, you fooled me once. I don't even know how they did that, and I never will, but I'm certainly not going to let anybody else do it. Mehmet's cat eats too much. First he eats his food, then he eats my food, and he eats everything like cartoon character. That's funny. I mean, it's not good though. Fat cats aren't healthy. Yes, Bam, start cooking for your 5-year-old dog. Do it now while they're still healthy. That is great advice, and I hope that you do it. You do that. So, you know, it is sad that scammers have turned us into these very distrustful people, but trust is a two-way street. And it is important that you find people you trust, and you realize that there are people that you can trust. Oh, the new widows get certain religious come knocking at your door and start directing your life. My girlfriend escaped it. Oh, I'm a widow. They scam me out of everything. But you know what? Scammers should not be able to take your dignity or your trust or your honesty. And that's what they're scamming you out of too. And it kind of scams you out of your humanity. So that's not a good thing. I know that you feel disillusioned, like the world is just full of scammers and everybody wants to sell you something that they don't even have. How about that? But you do have to rise above it. Oh, Bam says scammers go to college and jail for more training. Ah, who knew? Oh my gosh, Bam, you've really educated me today. I had no idea that they were in jail learning how to be bigger scammers. That's crazy. But again, I said this before and I'm going to say it again. If you've been scammed, talk about it. Tell everybody that you were scammed, and don't be embarrassed, even though somebody's, of course, inevitably going to say, how stupid are you? Look at them in the eye and say, it can happen to anybody. It really can. Again, I told you it's happened to me more than once, probably more than twice. Probably a good 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. I don't know. I'm not counting. I just know that every time I get scammed, I try to learn from it and not let it happen. And like I said, I've been scammed in every way, from romance scammers, in person and online, and then I am at the point where I don't date. I'm married to Jesus. I don't want any men in my life. I don't need a romantic connection at this point. My husband has died, and he is still my husband, even though he is not in the world anymore. But he's still there. He's still up there, and he's still watching me, and in a good way, and I'm okay with that. But I don't want a relationship because it's scary. Marita, if I hadn't caught my husband on his computer, he would have been scammed by the Microsoft scam. You know, speaking of catching a husband on computer, one of my friends inadvertently found out that her husband was on his computer and dating like 5 different women, like talking to them in sexual ways, and it really, like, ew, like really gross. And then she found out that he was supposedly taking care of their finances and paying taxes and everything, and she was making the money. He was also making the money. They both worked, but she thought she was paying taxes, but he wasn't even filing. So when she kicked him to the curb, she had a lot of financial problems because of him, because of what he did. It was her own husband, and he was scamming her. So, I mean, the scammer could be like right under your nose. And I'm not going to say that all men are bad, and I don't think that. And I have men who are good friends, and that's what they will be, good friends. And that's it. I don't want to look for a relationship. I don't want any man in my life. And I say telling me what to do, because men always tell me what to do, and I listen. So I know that about myself. I know I don't want to be taken advantage of again. So I keep the men in my life as my friends, and that is where they will stay. And, you know, I have every man in my past that used me badly. I'm like, okay, here's one right now who needs to get tossed into the intercoastal because you're a pig, okay? You treat women like this, you're a pig. And I don't put up with pigs on my show, so out of here. You know, why don't you treat people like people? I have just learned today something I didn't know, was that in the Taliban, the women are not even allowed to be seen. They're not, you know, I've seen them in the shopping malls. I call them the big black ghosts. They're wearing, yeah, don't tell me what, I always say, don't tell me what to do. You're not my dog. Muffin tells me what to do big time. Oh, she yells at me. And that's fine. I'm good with it. Bam says, scammers are the minority. Jill, however, think of it like this. Scammers take advantage of the majority of us. So, wow. That's a good one. They may be in the minority, but they take advantage of all of this. Marita's brother was almost scammed by the Microsoft. Oh, did we all go through? And then he realized what was happening, and he went and closed his bank account. They couldn't get a hold of it. You know, and then we're put into further danger by having online everything. One time, here's another story, how I don't know if I actually was scammed. I might have been scammed. Certainly was close to it, but one of my friends thought she was doing me a favor and gave me a tip on a house sitting job. And I didn't realize that she didn't know the person who was posting the job. And I called, and they actually got me to send my driver's license to an ID thing, and it was like I didn't know what it was, and I think I stopped it or something at some point, but it's at the point where I can't get that government ID thing to work for me anymore. It doesn't work. Paying my taxes last year was horrible because I paid my taxes on time. And then they came back and said I didn't pay my taxes. And not only did I owe them thousands of dollars, but I owed a fee for being late. And I'm like, no, I paid. And they wanted proof. I had proof. I sent them proof. But I had to be scared for like 2 or 3 months that they were just going to go into my bank account and take the rest of the money that I didn't have. So yeah, I can't get verified ID because of what happened with that one time. I don't know. BAM changes our credit cards once a year right after Christmas shopping. That's a good idea. But what a pain. Makes me not want a credit card. I don't even want to call a bank because I feel like I have PTSD just from the monetated, wait, what's it called? That voice that comes on, welcome, and it's not a real person. And I don't like to talk to AI. I don't. I feel stupid talking to AI. How can we take back our trust? Kindness and empathy, it's not a weakness. That's a strength, but they see it as a weakness. And but one thing that I think you can do is to be an honest, upstanding person yourself in your own life. And when you see these things, call them out. And when it comes to you, have no regrets. If you make a mistake, own up to it. Be responsible for your life. Bam says we're not supposed to have more than 2 credit cards anyway. Good point. Get rid of your credit cards. Just try to always be honest in your own life. I know one of the problems with being an honest person is that you expect other people to be honest, and that's how they get to you. I know that's how they got to me. And so now it's not that I'm less honest, but I'm less trusting, and I'm trusting nobody. And Kimberly says, get a low amount credit card that will pay you for using it and pay it off as a budget style credit card. This card plays as a butler between you and your bank to protect your bank account. That's a really good idea. I just kind of started hearing about that. Oh, Marita, thank you so much. You are so sweet. I really appreciate that. Super chats are great. Oh, I'm going to cry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway, and you're right, it is a great topic because it does feel like we are constantly at the mercy of really bad people who don't care about us or anybody. And when you learn about the romance scams especially, there are people who take their lives over those romance scams. And if you think that the scammers have any kind of remorse for somebody killing themselves because they were robbed of not just their money, but their dignity and their trust, they don't care. They don't care at all. So how do you get to a person who you know is being scammed and they won't believe you? That's a good topic. Have you been in that position? I've been in that position, and it's terrible because it makes you fight with that person. And I did have a big fight with one of my dearest friends who was being romance scammed, and she did lose tens of thousands of dollars. And there was nothing I could do. I felt so, oh, thank you, Lisa. Oh my gosh, I'm getting super chats today. Wow, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm so excited. Oh boy, I don't know what to say. Anyway, yeah, so romance scams. I feel so bad for Deb when she tried to help that one lady. Okay, so Marita's bringing up a situation that we all watched on Facebook where this woman who does a lot of lives, was friends with this other lady that she met. I'm not sure where she met her, but they became friends, and this lady, it turned out, was having an affair with a scammer. And Deb knew that he was a scammer because, you know, all the classic signs are there. And this woman actually claimed to have met her scammer on my page while I was doing a show. It was one of those messages: I love everything you say and write, and you're so beautiful, and I tried to add you as a friend, but oh no, it won't go through, and she fell for it. Which, it's like, who falls for those? But apparently this lady did. And for months she was being scammed, and she wouldn't confess to it. So nobody could trust her anymore because they knew what was going on, and she'd be like texting under the table. Yeah, she was a viewer, and she had moved from California while divorcing her husband. And I guess everything about her life had fallen apart, and Deb was helping her, found her a place to live, like did all this stuff, but here she was being scammed and lying about it. And it was a bad scene, and in the end Deb had to toss her as a friend because she was being scammed, and she wouldn't confess to it. She really believed that he was real. And that's one of the biggest problems with these romance scammers, is that she got out in a way and was still giving money. Yeah. And some of them are even being threatened to give their money. And last I heard, she ended up going back to her abusive husband. Wow. It's sad. And you wonder, how do you convince somebody that they're being scammed? Like I said, with my friend, I couldn't do it. And I had big fights with her. And she was even like, you know, like saying stuff about the people in my life. And I'm like, but none of them are scammers. Like, they're real people, and, you know, whatever happened, but they're real. And you're dealing with somebody who isn't even a real person. And it wasn't until actually her, or another, not even a friend, like her hairdresser told her she was getting ready to meet this man, or so she thought. Yeah, I kept saying he was flying in next week. I'll be there tomorrow. Here's my flight information, on and on and on. And finally, I know even Dr. Phil can't convince them. It's crazy. So what ended up happening, though, is she's getting ready to meet this person again, and her hairdresser, when she said what was happening, her hairdresser was like, "Oh, honey, I went through that same thing." I mean, this was so classic. He was like, like an army guy, and he was in the Middle East, and he was in Syria, and he couldn't get out, and he had to pay the army to get out, and he needed money, and he had a wife, but she got murdered. And it's like, so many crazy stories. Ladies, we can't convince others. Let it go. Yeah, you want to let it go, but when these are people in your life, the scammer is also messing with your life too. I can't let go of a good friend who's being duped like this. I mean, it was hard, and I'll tell you, the fight that we had made me want to not be friends with her anymore. But when she figured it out, I felt so badly, because I know she just wanted love. Kimberly, do you think some of these scammers are AI? I do. Definitely think some of the scammers are AI. However, I also don't think AI is that good, that would really fool you. But I don't know. I mean, there are some people who are so desperate and so lonely that they'll almost believe anything. So you do have to be careful. And I always use myself as an example. I'm a real person, and I've been duped by scammers. And when I get duped, it's because I'm desperate. Desperate people do desperate things. And when somebody comes to you and offers you exactly what you want, doesn't mean that they really have what you want. It means that you're desperate. Because the only one who you can really trust and who really does have everything you want is yourself. Darla says, my sister-in-law was scammed by a boyfriend for 7 years. It's a long story. Wow. Yes, it can be a long time. And, narcissist scammers, they're everywhere. Scammers use traps. Don't blame yourself if you have to turn and walk away from any trap. True. Yeah, desperation is like one of the worst things that you can deal with. Hi, Millie. I'm not sure what you're saying, but hi. Yeah, it's funny that the Beach Report is an international show and we get people from all over the world. So, hi. Welcome. Welcome. Add to the show. Don't be a distraction. That's all I can say. Well, I see that the Fort Lauderdale water taxi is coming down the pike, and I'll show you that. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Millie. Thank you. And that's another thing about the Beach Report being an international show, is I do like to give English lessons every now and then. I am a former English teacher, although I think once an English teacher, always an English teacher. So I do like to help people improve their English. Let's see, what is a common mistake that people make? Oh, if you guys have an English grammar question for me, throw it at me. I'm super good about that. But right now, let's go check out the Fort Lauderdale water taxi as it comes down the intercoastal. Let's see, here it comes. Get ready. I'm not lying. It's slow, but it's coming. I don't want to open the window because I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty windy out there and it's going to be loud. Okay, that's a great one, Kimberly. There versus there versus there. Okay, well, thank you for writing that out. There's the water taxi, because the first one, there, is a contraction. Anytime you see that apostrophe, that is a contraction, which means two words put together to make one word. Instead of saying they are, you say there, and it sounds just like the other two theirs, but it means they are. When you have there, T-H-E-I-R, that means that it belongs to them. That is the possessive of they, like as in, that's their water taxi. Or they're on the water taxi. They are on the water taxi. They're on the water taxi. There being a place. Sorry. Choking on my own spit. Love when that happens. Okay, Bam has a good one. Saying yes to yourself is good. Otherwise, it's you saying yes to, you are saying yes to others. Oh, that's a good one. Mehmet says in Turkey, we say foot fingers. The mistake in Turkey. Foot fingers. You gotta embellish on that one, Mehmet. I'm confused. What are foot fingers? There's another one. Okay. Saying yes to yourself is good. Otherwise, you are saying yes to others and no to yourself. Good one. Oh, that's a good one. I love it. Thank you so much, Marita. Thank you. This has been such an informative show. I'm loving this. So, okay, now let's tackle our versus our. Our versus our. Our. Okay. So ours, this is our show, O-U-R. It's an hour long, 1 hour. Measure of time versus possessive. And they sound the same. English is so difficult. Foot phalanges, oh no. Well, you guys, this has been more than an hour-long show, and I am going to say ciao for now. It's been fascinating, and I definitely want to talk about scams in the future. I'm going to make this a regular part of our show. So maybe we could do, like, every time I come on, we'll say, how have you been scammed this week? And there's Bam, thank you. And oh, she's got her 1 month membership. What's that called? Emoji? I don't know, but woo woo! I'm so glad. If you guys want to get a membership, that is actually even better than doing super chats. Like, join the club so we can all talk amongst ourselves and not have to worry about the scammers and the trolls and the annoying people. I'm so glad you're here, Lisa. I do hope that you will consider joining as a member. And if not, I still love you. I still want you here. At least subscribe. So I will see you on the next beach report. Could be tonight, could be tomorrow. I never really know. I'm not really a scheduled type of person. However, let's look at the yacht that's going by right now before I leave you guys. That's kind of an old school yacht. I love it. I love the screened-in porch. Look how nice that is. Tell your husband that the beach report wishes him a very, very happy birthday, Marita. Oh my gosh, Kimberly, thank you. Thank you, Super Chatters. Woo woo, you guys are awesome. What a great show. Great for me, great for you, great for all of us. Oh, look, here comes another one. Wow. No, that's an interesting boat. These aren't the super sexy, sleek yachts that we usually see. They're kind of old school. But this one's got 3 levels, another screened-in porch, a little boat on top. These people maybe even could live on their boat. That's amazing. Oh, and another one. Wow. Okay, something's up here. These guys, I think they're all together. I don't know. They're all the same kind of boats. Something's going on. Something's happening. Loopers. Those are loopers, Kathy says. I know, Barbara. I love yachts. I just love boats. I love the water. I love boating. All of it. So much fun. Yeah, this one, I don't know. This doesn't look like a fishing boat to me. This looks like a pleasure craft, and you can get on a little boat in the back and tool around. That looks kind of like a houseboat. Oh, and now I'm hearing sirens. Sometimes I actually do see people get pulled over on the intercoastal, just like in a car. They pull them over. It's crazy. I don't know. I hear the cops. One time I was looking across and cars drive down this little street. That's a park across the street from me, or across the waterway from me. That is the intercoastal waterway. And so one time I see this whole group of kids, and this was, of course, during spring break, and they were acting crazy. They were screaming, and I wasn't even watching. I was just like in the kitchen, and I heard all the screaming, and I ran over, and I saw them, and they were on the top of this car, and then one of them fell off. And I heard the bang of that person's head when they fell off, and it was horrific. And they stopped the car, and they picked up the person who was lying motionless on the ground and took them somewhere. I did not know what to think. It was crazy cakes. Bam, tell Lisa how to be a member. I believe it's in the comments, so I would love it if you would be a member, Lisa. I would welcome you with open arms. Thank you. Oh, no, actually, Bam, I looked up that abandoned boat from yesterday that apparently Cubans made their way to sneak into America on, and I couldn't find any information about it at all. So it seems like that was a Beach Report exclusive. Just saying. All right, here's a sleek little yacht. That's a real nice one. Wow. Boats like that are really great pleasure craft. You see them a lot where people will park them in front of restaurants around here. And they have a great area. People hang out on the back. That's a really nice one. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that kid that fell off the car. Never know. I've seen a lot of crazy things over across on the intercoastal. They don't call it Fort Lickerdale for nothing. All right, you guys. Well, this has been a really great show in so many ways, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next Beach Report. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Ciao for now.